Acadia After Dark is a horror podcast, and as such, may not be appropriate for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Acadia After Dark. I am your host, Reverend Redbeard, and this week I am joined by Jeff from the Maine Paranormal and Horror Convention that's coming up here in September. Super excited for that one, and I am very happy to talk to him today, see what he's been up to, and see what the plans are for everything that's going to be going on, because this is looking like it's shaping up to be probably one of the biggest one of these conventions we've ever had in this state, and I'm super excited to attend it myself. So anyways, Jeff, hey man, it's good to have you with me. Why don't you
Thanks for
introduce
having
yourself?
me. I'm Jeff. I am putting on the Maine Paranormal and Horror Convention at the Augusta Civic Center, September 6th and 7th. We have a huge lineup of guests, and it's going to be an amazing weekend.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's shaping up to be a friggin' amazing time. I'm hoping to attend both days. I know that it's going to be a whole man. Conventions like that are always a special event, especially up here, because I think the last time I went to one similar setup was the one they did Bangor one.
The Bangor Comic Con Toy Con.
Yep. They did like a one in October one time that was like a horror themed one, and that one was pretty cool. That was a few years back though, and that was a pretty large. Their Bangor Comic Con is pretty large nowadays, but it looks like from looking at the guest list you got, it looks like you're actually like going over a lot of the stuff that they are, and you have a wide range of guests. I was pretty shocked at some of the names here. Just to list a few for the listeners, man, they got, let's see, just off the top, right off the bat, we got John Zaffis, which is an absolutely massive name. April Bussett. We got Ronnie LeBlanc. We've got, I mean, holy crap, CJ Graham, Bob Elmore. It's just, the list goes on and on and on. There's so many huge names.
And Jeff and Willie from Mountain Monsters.
Yeah, that's actually probably the one that I'm most excited about personally, because I love that show.
And they've never been to New England since they shot the show.
No kidding.
So like this is a chance for everybody in New England to come actually meet them face to face.
That's awesome. Because I know that like the last time that we had a convention, anywhere this size, people came from all over, because you don't get them up here all the time. So having one centrally located like you are, I mean, that's going to be massive. What are you looking at right now for like RSVPs? Is there any sort of, ballpark number you're looking at?
2,500 people are going to show up. That's our estimation.
Wow.
But we have sold tickets as far as Florida, Wisconsin, Illinois, like New York. People are coming in from all over, and that's what we want to do. We want to bring people to Maine too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's definitely a good point, and it's also a good time of year for that too, because it'll be right before the fall. It's like kind of the peak season to be visiting anyways. So yeah, I could see that being an awesome benefit to the whole thing.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about weather either. Like we don't have to worry about the snow in September, or it's storming so bad people can't get to it.
Yeah. Especially a convention and stuff. It's like costumes and stuff like that. September, you're not going to be freezing your ass off if you decide to wear a costume or anything like that for a convention. So that's pretty awesome.
And we got the big horror cosplay contest on Saturday too. Like,
yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was another thing. You got a packed list of events. Like, what do you got going on? I know that was one of them. You had the Sasquatch call going on. That one sounds like
that one's gonna be so fun.
The moment I saw that, I was like, I told Mrs. Redbeard here, I was like, we've got to go. I was like, absolutely, we've got to be there Sunday at least, because that's just going to be a fantastic
That's going to be, I think, the highlight of Sunday, like, for amusement-wise.
Oh, yeah.
But we have both days packed with Q&As and panels, lectures, like, and every day is different. It's not like the celebrities speak on Saturday, they're going to speak again Sunday. Like you see at a lot of events, they have the same speakers every single day.
Yeah.
We have different people for every hour on the hour. So they speak for 45 minutes and then they have 15 minutes for a break in between each one.
Right. That's awesome. That's going to be a great time. Good pacing for that too. And with the list you got, it's such a wide range because you really are covering, paranormal stuff. You've got, some huge names there. Plus the horror stuff is very well represented. How'd you rope all these people in, man? This is
I got a lot of connections.
I guess you must, right?
And it's actually amazing. Like, I thought I'd have to find everybody to come to this event. And after I started announcing it, I just started getting emails from different managers that are managers of all these different celebrities. Like, I have a list of probably over 75 different celebrities I can choose from right now, if not more. Like, from anywhere from top actors to, like, I could get Corey Taylor if I wanted to from Slipknot.
Yeah.
I know his agent.
So that given, were there any names that weren't able to schedule this time that would have been on your list to do? Or
I'm hoping in 1 year we will be able to get David Thornton.
Yeah.
Also known as Art the Clown.
Yeah, Art the Clown. Yeah. I could definitely see happening. He loves doing conventions like that. He'd be absolutely a great guest.
Like, I've been talking to his agent a lot, and hopefully we can work it into a future year coming up.
Sure.
We do have a 5-year contract.
Oh, so that's even better. So we've got a good chunk of this to come. It's not just a one-time gig.
No, it's not a
one-time. It's going to get bigger and better.
We're going to be announcing more guests like the for next year at the 2025 event. So, like, in between, while people are breaking down in between lectures, next year we're going to have this person and this thing is coming, and
that's going to be hype. That's
we've already been working on 2026.
Just never stop, man. That's awesome. So what made you decide to pull this together? Like, what was your inspiration?
I have a traveling Ouija board museum, and I go to a bunch of shows from all over the US. Like, this year we're going to Illinois, we're heading to Pennsylvania, we're going to Maryland, and so many other places. And I'm like, my friends used to put on the Maine Parafest up in Vassarboro when it used to be at the mill, and then they stopped doing it. And that was the only real big paranormal event we had in Maine.
Yeah.
And I've been in the paranormal field for 15 years, something like that. And I've made a lot of friends over the years. And when I was thinking last year to start one, but then we couldn't find the right venue. And the key thing is finding the right venue with the right parking, with hotels around it. And because I'm a guy that I'm going to go big or I'm going to go home.
Sure.
If I don't go big, I'm not going to do it.
Right. You're putting all that effort into
the first year, the lineup is stacked already just for a first year event.
Yeah.
Which normally a first year event, you see 1, maybe 2 people show up at. I got over 25 guests and celebrities coming.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy, the list of people you got. I mean, and just naming a few of the ones off the top are like, that would be, I would have expected, honestly, like John Zaffis would have been, I mean, top of the list already would have been a must go too. Then when you look at some of the other names you were able to get in, it's just amazing. Like, and it's wicked cool that we're able to have something like that up here again, because it is desperately needed. There's a couple of smaller, like, you know, little cons that's popped up over the state around the years, but nothing on this level. So this is really cool to see.
And
that
that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring a new experience to Maine.
Right.
Where Mainers putting it on, because I'm right from Gray. And the reason why we picked Augusta for the home of the Maine Paranormal and Horror Convention, because it's in the center of a state. It's an hour from Portland, hour from Bangor. It meets, everybody can meet right in the middle. And the thing is, if you want to come down for a day and only want to drive an hour, that's not bad.
Yeah.
If you want to come up from Portland, drive an hour, that's not bad.
Yep.
And you don't even have to stay a night for that. You can come back the next day. You can still drive home.
Exactly.
It's not like you're going from Bangor to Portland 2 hours, or Portland to Bangor 2 hours, and then you
night. yeah, exactly. I mean, down here, I know, like, coastal Maine, it's like, for us, it's like anything further than Bangor. When you're going from the mid coast or whatever, you got to basically go up to Bangor to then go down to get to Portland or Augusta or something like that. So having it be in Augusta is really shaving for, you know, a full hour and a half off of the travel for me.
Oh, 100%.
It's a day trip. Like you said, it makes it accessible. Plus, you're really close, relatively speaking, not far off from New Hampshire. You're going to have people that are going to be coming up from other states and stuff in New England, because just some of the names of the guests you got there are going to draw more and more people.
Because, like, especially like with a lot of the people, like Mountain Monsters, never been to New England.
Oh, yeah.
Who also hasn't been to Maine before? There's quite a few of them. Tony Moran, he's never been to Maine. The unmasked Mike Myers from 1978, he's never been to Maine.
Really? No kidding.
Most he's been is Massachusetts. So, like,
wow,
this is like new opportunities for everybody to come meet some of these people that's never even been to New England.
Yeah, absolutely.
The voice actor I got coming, Eddie Deason, who was in the original Grease and Grease 2, but he also was a voice actor in so many other movies, including he was in Critters 2. And he's never been to Maine.
It's wild.
And he covers a wide variety of people that know who he is, either from his iconic voice or from a TV show or movie he's been in. Because he's been in well over, I think, 45 or 50 different films.
Yeah. It's a freaking great grab, great, fantastic guest list on that, man. It's just everyone you were naming off as you were announcing them and stuff. I'm watching a lot of them on Facebook, and everyone you were naming off, I was just like, how the hell did they? I'm like, it's just shocking sometimes, because you don't realize, like, we haven't had that opportunity to have those sort of that level of guests up here very often. I think the last time I remember them having something like that, I think the biggest they had, and it was a great grab, but they had Tony Todd at one of them a few years back before he passed away. And that was just like, I don't think he'd ever been up here before. He said, he'd gotten to go to Bar Harbor and he checked it out. And he said everybody there was so nice and all this stuff. And he was just like happy to be there and everything like that. And I think some of the guests even like kind of like coming to these sort of conventions, because the fans and stuff here, it's almost like they're like, kind of like hungry for more of that. So they're like extra excited, and they make it a more pleasant experience for everybody in a way. So it's cool that they're getting some more exposure to, getting something like that up here is just a once in a while thing. It's so cool to see. So who I know I'm most excited for, the guys from Mountain Monsters. Like I said, I'm a big fan of that show. So that was like the guest that I was really just like, yeah, those are the guys I'm like number one priority, gotta meet them. Any guests that you in particular were like super excited to get, that just, were like ones that you wanted to personally get to see or meet?
I was super excited to bring Mountain Monsters up to Maine. I actually met them a couple years ago at Penhurst Asylum when they were having their Paracon. We don't have all the guys coming, but we got the two main guys from the group that started it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Bob Elmore's never been to Maine either.
Never been to Maine.
My wife said Bob Elmore's never been to Maine either.
No kidding. Jeez.
So
Because
that's
it
super
was funny
exciting.
with Bob Elmore because the original, Leatherface used to live up in Maine for years.
Really?
Yeah.
He's been to Maine.
Gunnar Hansen.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Gunnar
Gunnar used to
has,
live in
yeah.
Maine. So that's
Yeah,
interesting.
he used to live actually out in Northeast Harbor.
That's interesting. It's too bad he's passed.
Yeah, I know. It would have been a good one.
I actually had
got to
someone
meet him.
reach out and they're like, "Why don't you get Gunnar?" I'm like, "He died." Oh, I'm like, I don't think the Civic Center would appreciate me bringing Gunnar to the event, especially then it would be too much like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre when they're mutilating graves.
Right. Just prop him up on a table somewhere, think that might be a little conflicting.
Photo with Gunnar Hansen. I think I'd get shut down real quickly.
Yeah. It'd take him a minute, though. You got to be honest. It is a horror convention. It'd take him a minute to figure it out, at least. Well,
Or
yeah.
think about all those the haunted houses that actually they find out they had a real body as a prop.
Yeah. It's true. Actually, there's been a few instances of that happen that I've read of. It's crazy. You remember? So I don't know if you've been in the area for a while. So years ago, down in
I grew up in Maine my whole life.
Okay, cool. So yeah, years ago they had an attempt at having a convention down there in Portland, I want to say, and they started setting it up. It ran 1 year and then it just petered out. I'm assuming that they probably had, other things or didn't have a contract or a long-term thing. So you're planning on getting bigger and better as you do this.
Oh,
Knowing
100%.
that, I saw your guest list of the guest list you have here. You also brought in a lot of vendors that are, local to the area or like very specific to, the spooky side of stuff. How would local vendors and stuff be able to like get on the list for next year if they wanted to? Because I know quite a few in the area that would probably
Reach out. We have a waiting list of over 50 people right now for this year even.
Wow.
And we have 130 vendors plus that are going to be at the event.
That's insane. That is so
literally the whole auditorium, other than mixing in some paranormal teams, some Bigfoot researchers and stuff, all the rest of the auditorium is full of just vendors.
Wow. That's
and people wanting to share their experiences with everybody,
Yeah, that's wicked cool.
And plus, we got the VIP party on Saturday night.
Yeah. Tell us more about that. Tell us a little more about what's going on with that. Too. Yeah, I read that the other day. That was I'm a big fan of food, and I saw that, and I was like, "Geez."
So we're having a VIP party, which tickets are $120, and it gets you into both days plus the VIP party at night, and it's a full buffet style dinner with all the celebrities, and the menu for that night is baked stuffed chicken, lightly seasoned chicken breast stuffed with cornbread stuffing, beef burgundy, braised beef cuts simmered into a seasoned red wine sauce, pasta primavera. It's a gluten-free pasta with seasonal vegetables tossed with a vegan garlic butter sauce, fingerling potatoes, green beans, garden salad with assorted dressing, rolls and butters, and coffee and tea, with specialty event-themed horror cupcakes for desserts. And that's
Oh,
going to be quite the. And we have 2 different DJs that are going to be playing. One of them's an up and coming. He does his own mixes and stuff. And then we're going to have a regular DJ where people can request the songs and then they can dance and party the night away with a cash bar. And we have some cool surprises for VIP, which we're not going to give away because we want to leave some surprises for it.
Yeah, of course. That's quite the deal. For only $120 you get the whole weekend plus that experience and a fantastic meal. I mean, that's actually like, if somebody's looking for something to do for a weekend date night or something like that, it's kind of hard to pass up that opportunity. It's fantastic, man.
Oh yeah, I've seen other events just for the party itself is about $240 a person. Plus then you have to buy drinks, plus then you have to get there. And that's not even including the ticket into the event for the whole weekend.
Right. This, you get the whole deal in one shot. And I mean, wow. Amazing.
Like a couple going out for a weekend, that's $240 and your whole weekend's paid for.
Yeah.
Except for whatever you want to drink if you're a drinker,
Sure. Not bad at all. I definitely.
And you're going to have some custom cocktails. Like the first hour of the VIP party is cocktail hour.
Nice.
And then food starts at 8 to 9. And then after 9, the party really begins.
That is so awesome. Fantastic. I can't wait to check that out. That's going to be a great time. So what made you think of doing the dinner thing? Because that's kind of a new. I've seen ones that do a VIP party, but the dinner is kind of another little touch of class. I like that.
I'm a foodie. I love food.
Yep. Right on. I can appreciate that.
I think going out to eat is fun.
Yep.
And actually, you can be able to sit down and have dinner with the celebrities you want to hang out with. Like, how often can you say, "Hey, I ate dinner the other night with CJ Graham. I ate dinner with Jeff and Willie from the Mountain Monsters. I ate dinner with John Dugan, who plays Grandpa Sawyer in Texas Chainsaw Massacre." Like,
yeah. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It truly is.
Hey, you want to have dinner with these celebrities? Who could even say that they've had dinner with this person, that person? That's actually a fucking good idea.
As we're brainstorming ideas.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great idea.
You've never come to our VIP party. Who could say they've ever had dinner with these celebrities? You could. So get your tickets now at maineparanormal.com. You could have dinner with all these people and say you did.
That's right.
Well, that's actually good.
Good. Start making the post right now.
Perfect. Fantastic. I'll give you a clip from this. You can throw that right in there. You got a whole ad already made. It's perfect. So another thing I was, and this is one I definitely looking at the logo for this, and I'll throw it up when I edit this so I could throw it on screen because this is just fantastic. The Ouija Board Maine
with Jason.
That goes so hard. It's so awesome. Who did that?
My tattoo artist, Nate Howard.
Right.
I told
Where's he
him
based out of?
He's based right out of Lewiston at Black Lantern Tattoo Gallery.
Right on.
No, Auburn. My bad. Auburn, not Lewiston. It's right. Okay. It's basically right across the bridge into Auburn, Lewiston.
That's why they always put the slash through it every time you see it in the newspaper. Yeah, no, that design goes so hard. Like,
and
I saw the t-shirts and stuff like that. Oh, it's incredible, and
we got some
whole
cool
thing
of too, and a lot of merch.
Yeah, that was one thing. I was like, damn, like usually the paranormal conventions that I've been to in the past, it's the shirts aren't ones that, I get them for the memory. I don't get them for the design. This is one of those shirts that I would absolutely get. This is like a band t-shirt. It's so awesome. So
and that's particularly kind of the vibe we wanted to give it, like an actual shirt you want to buy and you want to wear, not buy it just to be like, hey, I was here that day.
I
remember their first event.
Right.
And one thing we're not doing, we're not putting the years on the shirts either, because we want it to be our logo forever.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of cool stuff coming. Like we're getting koozies, we're getting tumblers with the design on it, we're getting keychains, we're getting so much cool merch to help support the event.
Yeah.
Because this event is not a cheap event to put on, and hundreds of man hours are going into it. Mm-hmm. I am in meetings 2 to 3 times a week, if not more.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sure you've probably been working around the clock to get this together over the past year. And to know you're already in progress and working on next year without even taking a breather, man, you're an inspiration. You're doing the good work, though.
Well, we want to make sure, like, we can announce some of the guests coming for 2026 at 2025.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you have to, like, for some of the celebrities, you have to book them over a year in advance just to make sure that it's not conflicting with filming. Like if they're more recent of an actor and they have films coming up or TV shows, like with Art the Clown, like we're a maybe for 2026. There's not a guarantee because we don't know if he's filming. We don't know if he has something conflicting with that.
Sure.
We would love to say he's coming, but it might not be in 2026. It could be 2027.
Yeah, but I mean,
hey, you never know. Like one of these years, he'll be available, and then he will be able to come up to Maine and meet everybody.
Oh, what an announcement that's going to be the day it does happen, man. So aside from Art the Clown, that's definitely a big get. Is there any people you're hoping to get in the future or future things you want to add to the convention that you didn't maybe get to work into it this year? Without teasing anything that you don't want to give away, because of course surprises.
We're hoping to get some of the Supernatural cast.
Oh yeah.
No names, but we're working on it.
Yeah, cool. That'd be an awesome one.
So that's always been a big hit for a TV show.
Nice. Yeah.
I would like to get some heavy metal singers up here.
I don't know if you follow wrestling at all. Chris Jericho's big paranormal guy.
I've actually been looking into Chris Jericho because Chris Jericho is also in Terrifier.
Oh, I didn't realize that. How did I miss that? Wow.
Yeah, he was in the second one and the third one.
Oh, okay.
He was at the end of the second one and died at the beginning of the third one.
Okay, that's probably why I have not yet seen the third one. I'm like a year behind on my
you
movies.
Watch the second one when they're in that psych ward. Mm-hmm. Chris Jericho's actually one of the nurses.
No kidding. I don't know how I missed that, honestly. Wow, that's wild, man. That's awesome, though. Well, yeah, it would be a great guest because he kind of fits into both niches because you get a singer and you get a paranormal guy.
And you get a wrestler. Like, he's all around. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, there's so many guests I would love to have come up to this. Like, but every year we're doing a different theme. My wife wants to do, like, we're going to try not to have any repeat guests. Well, Bigfoot hunters, that'd be a one thing with the repeats. But like with like movie stars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We want to switch those out every single time. We don't want the people to be like, they had that person last year. Oh,
sure.
Wait, why are they having this person again for the third year in a row?
Right. Yeah.
I understand. And like it's different with like Bigfoot hunters and paranormal investigators because there's only so many of them. Mm-hmm. But with movie stars and stuff like that, there's just lines of them, like hundreds, thousands of different celebrities people want to meet.
Sure, absolutely.
And it got a big list to draw from a B movie, you know. Like the other night, me and my wife watched The The Revenge of Cinderella.
Hmm.
It was a 2024 horror movie where
Yeah.
Cinderella gets her revenge.
Huh. I
And
dig folk horror.
It was very gruesome, and then very. Sometimes you just sit there and you're like itching your head, like, why the hell is her pumpkin a Tesla?
Wow. All right.
Like,
I'm going to
it
have
showed,
to
like,
look this one
this
up.
olden days, like back when Cinderella was supposed to be, and then her fairy godmother comes in, and here comes your carriage, and it's a Tesla, and then Elon Musk pops out of it, and then the license plate reads pumpkin. I was like,
Wow.
what did I just see happen here?
It sounds like one of those, like, fever dreams or something that you just.
It was quite an interesting experience. I'll say that.
Certainly sounds like it. Damn, I'm gonna have to look that
I'm
one
trying
up.
to
I had
find
not
other
heard of
horror
that.
movies that I need to watch to try to figure out. Okay, this was a good one.
Yeah, I get you. I absolutely do, because as I said, I'm a little behind on my horror movie stuff. I was talking the last episode of the podcast. I still haven't seen the new Nosferatu, and it's just like people are like,
so good.
I fell asleep during it.
yeah, it's one of those things. I'm like, I'll see it when I get around to it. It takes me a minute to sit down and actually watch movies sometimes, especially when it's like 2.5 hour.
It's a different type of film. Like, it's not like
I couldn't understand him.
Horror film, but it's more of like a, I don't know, like an artistry film.
I get it.
I couldn't understand him when he talked. It was just weird.
Well, you're not into the like.
I'm not the only person that said they couldn't understand him talking.
It's a different kind of film. It's more like I guess you would put it into like a foreign film like aspect. It's more like, I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see it eventually here. I know the director is doing a Wolfman movie as well, and that one I was a little more felt like that one was gonna be a little more my speed, because when it comes down between werewolves and vampires, I think the werewolves win every time with me.
Well, you're in luck. We have an author coming. His name is Brian Hershey, and he is a horror writer that loves to write about werewolves, and he has like a whole werewolf book series.
I'm gonna have to seek him out then. I am a big werewolf aficionado. People say I am a pusher of lupine propaganda on the internet, because I am constantly saying the praises of werewolves around here. So I'll definitely be seeking that guy out. Well, hey, switching gears a little bit, because I don't want to keep you all night, but I usually like to offer the guests an opportunity to tell us a story or two. Have you ever had any experiences up here? Or you have a traveling Ouija board show, so you must have something you can share with us, right?
Oh, I could tell you one of my most terrifying boards.
Let's have it.
It's called the Cat Killer. I bought this board on eBay back in 2023, and I bought it at auction. The guy said it was haunted, and I'm like, all right. But he didn't list why it was haunted. He just wrote it's haunted. And then after I bought it, he sends me a long message, and I'll actually read the message. Give me 2 seconds just to pull it up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely worth it.
Oh,
already got me riveted on this story.
This board is bound to a box. It is to never be taken out of the box. Well, case, box, same thing. Because we don't want it out in the public anymore.
So we want it out in the public,
well,
safely.
We just don't want it to kill any more cats.
Yeah, this one's in containment.
Yeah. He goes, sorry, I just got back into town today and I sent it off, so I wish you the best of luck with it. I also have to say I will not take it back. I'm never wanting this thing back in my life, but I hope you have fun with it. But just to let you know, I'm not joking around. That thing is cursed, and I hope you don't have cats because it doesn't like cats at all. Also, keep it inside. If not, it'll get angry and start opening things on you, hiding stuff from you. I wish you the best of luck with it, and may you have the best of time with it.
Oh, wow.
So I was going to New Jersey Para-Unity. So I had it shipped to my grandmother's house where my cat lived. The day it arrived, my grandmother contacted my wife to tell her when Jeff's in a good space, let him know that his cat passed away.
Wow.
And
It took me a while.
it took Ashley a while to figure out what's going on. And and then she goes, "Did you get a box in the mail?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she said, "Can you open it and send me a picture of what it is?" And so she did. And she told her to bring that outside and put it in her trunk of her car and do not take it out till we get home. And because the day it arrived, my cat died in its sleep that night.
Wow.
Coincidence? Was it old age? Could have been a mixture of the two. My cat was 19, 20 years old. But the thing is, he was perfectly fine till the day that board showed up. He walked in, laid down, never woke up.
That kind of timing is uncanny. And to have had the letter with it where the guy is like, it doesn't like cats. If it was just one or the other, I'd say, okay, maybe it's like, yeah, you could kind of dismiss a little bit of that. But to have that correlation, that's
we didn't even know any of this until we were driving to New Jersey for Para-Unity, and then we got that message from him. And we had already got the board shipped. So it kind of like, I'm sitting there and it kind of like clicked with me. I'm like, wait, did she get that board? And then I'm like, oh my God, she got that board. I'm like, get that board into your trunk of your car and do not ever let it like leave until we get home.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
chilling.
it was pretty bad. So now it's bound into a case and it hasn't done any harm, thank God. But we have a couple of them. We have a couple haunted boards that are pretty much bound to cases. We have another one that
we call it Tornado.
We called it Tornado. We got the board surrendered to us. It was in a hidden room and it was used in satanic rituals. There's even burn marks and everything with candles
and candle wax on it and everything.
It was used in satanic rituals, and it actually caused a water spout in Gettysburg. That actually, the only thing that was completely destroyed, other than a couple tents, was our whole entire trailer. And
the trailer was not destroyed.
The trailer was fine, but all of our merchandise and everything was
because we left
destroyed.
Our 10x20 tent set up with all our merch in it.
Oh yeah.
It was a nice day. It was a calm night. Everybody was hanging out, drinking on the patio that night. Then all of a sudden I go to bed. 5 minutes after I go to bed, the whole thing hit the fan. My friend grabbed a hold of my tent thinking she could hold it down. She got ripped up with the tent going up in the air like Mary Poppins holding an umbrella. Got wrapped up in the metal skirting and got slammed back down to the ground.
Wow.
So, I touched the board and I found out that it was actually used in satanic rituals. And after that, it was bound to a case, and that's also in our museum, and it does not leave our museum, and we would never sell it.
Yeah,
boards that are very, very safe with us.
There's a couple of things in that are really interesting to me because this has come up a lot in interviews, especially with people local to Maine. Ouija boards, for some reason, being in abandoned houses or like hidden in places in houses that people would buy or inherit. What is with that? Do you have anything?
Back in the day, people would use whatever they had to fix a drawer, to fix a part of the wall. And the old Ouija boards are actually made out of wood.
Yeah.
I actually talked to a guy a couple of years ago. He said he went into a Catholic church and he went into like this, what do you call them, a duke or something like that, into their office and removed this giant mirror. The whole back of the mirror was a bunch of Ouija boards literally just put in behind the mirror in this Catholic church. And they're all like cut and like pieced together. And I told him, send me a picture. I want to buy that back of mirror. And
Right.
he never got a hold of me again. And I'm like, I was kind of bummed because I wanted to see it.
But the thing is, like, you can't use Ouija boards as like a horrible thing, though. Like, you have spirit boxes, you have like a whole bunch of like devices that connect to the afterlife, and it's not like Ouija boards have been put into the media as a horrible thing, but it's you can use anything to create havoc with the spiritual realms. You can anything. You can use a spirit box. You can use like anything you want to make a horrible like connection to the afterlife. And Ouija boards have a bad name because of that. Yes, people fuck up and they use Ouija boards as like things to communicate with the dead or
they'll
with
mock
the afterlife, but like anything can be used like that. And I've seen people like conjure like horrible things with just spirit boxes. And that's the thing we need to actually like stop, is the connection with Ouija boards. It's the media who has put Ouija boards as the connector with horrible things that have happened. Like with the movies that have happened with Ouija boards. Like Ouija boards aren't bad. It's the people that are using the Ouija boards that have bad intentions. Like, I guarantee that board we have that was used in the satanic ritual would have never happened if it wasn't the people who are using it.
Yep.
It's just like a gun isn't going to shoot somebody unless it has somebody to pull the trigger. It's
exactly.
Ouija boards.
It's a tool. It's a
tool. And that's just like anything. It's a tool. A Ouija board isn't going to kill somebody unless it has somebody to pull the trigger.
I don't think a Ouija board would kill somebody, but
I'm just saying that's the same aspect, and that's
one thing people are afraid of. They're afraid of what they've seen in horror movies.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they just had a movie a couple of years ago, Ouija. It was literally a big budget movie that just came out a couple of years back. My kid, 13, 14 years old, was obsessed with it. And
come on, we've all used Ouija boards when we were younger.
No.
Oh, absolutely. I think every
well, I just touched a Ouija board when I was younger. Yes, I did have a couple things that have terrified me with Ouija boards, but I'm slowly getting over it because of this man right here who's obsessed with them.
Education goes a long way, right? I mean, learning a little bit more about them definitely helps with the stigma, and that's a big part of, having somebody like you that can talk to, speak to the actual like reality behind them instead of the myths and the associations of the negative is a good thing.
That are scared to come to our museum.
Hundreds of people every year will walk up to the door. They will look in, and they're like, "Nope, I can feel the evil." Or
there's no evil in our museum,
honey.
There
is.
But they're contained.
They're contained. Yeah. The thing is, we also have people there. They say they're psychic. They'll come in, they'll put their hand on the board, and they'll be like, "This one right here, there's a demon in it." I'd be like, "That one's brand new, never been used, and I just took it out of the box." Oh, it's been used. No, it hasn't.
No.
Yeah, no. That's kind of a telling indictment of their abilities, unfortunately. But I could definitely understand how
it's amusing seeing people come in. And it's really cool when they actually guess the right ones.
It really is. It's stereotype on Ouija boards. It really is.
Yeah, it makes sense. I remember when I was a teenager, well, Christ, I was probably 16, 17. We had a Ouija board, just one of those cheap Hasbro ones you could buy at Walmart, glowed in the dark, nothing, too fancy, made out of that
That was probably a
chessboard.
Parker Brothers then, if it
Yeah.
glowed in the dark.
Parker Brothers.
Yep. Sounds about right. So I had one of those, and I remember when my stepmom found out about that, man, did she lose her mind. She was not a religious lady, but she took that very personally, and she was adamant that we get rid of that thing. And I was, 16 years old. I'm like, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Like, what do you mean? And she was like, I don't care. It's not in my house. Doesn't matter. And there was no convincing her because of that stigma. I mean, she had grown up in an era where, we had the satanic panic all through the 70s, 80s, and into the early 90s. And the Ouija board kind of got roped into that intermittently. And you had horror movies and whole pop culture that demonized them, for lack of a better word. It's unfortunate, but I mean, it's kind of how it is. And nowadays, you got people that have that still ingrained in their head, even though it's not as popular as it used to be. It's a very interesting phenomena, but it's weird how often still now when I'm hearing people talk about stories and things like that, there's a Ouija board involved. And I'm just like, it seems to be a running theme, even, all these years later. It's crazy.
And I take boards that people don't want. They don't want them. I'll take them.
Sure.
The creepier the story that comes behind them, the better.
That's awesome. So you said it's a traveling Ouija board show. Are you ever gonna like set down roots to have like a permanent location for it, or are you kind of?
Maybe at some point it'd be nice.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work because like I have over 180 plus boards that I set up when I set up the museum.
Wow.
And they're from all over the world, dating back from 1891 to boards made from like Australia. I got boards made from France. I got boards from Mexico. I got boards from all over the United States made by different artists. I even have one that's made with the artist's own blood.
Wow.
I have a human scapula planchette, which is part of the shoulder bone.
No. Wow.
I'm even turning a megalodon tooth, an authentic megalodon tooth, into a planchette.
That's so badass. That is just amazing. Dude, that's dope. I love that idea. That is so cool. Wow. I mean, you talk about having a kind of a dream gig going for you right there, man. You're kind of living a dream for a lot of myself and a lot of my listeners. Probably you're running a Ouija board museum. You're running a paranormal convention with horror, horror authors and horror, actors and all these. Wow. Fantastic. Such a cool thing. You have any particular Ouija board that's like one of your favorite stories that somebody's given you, aside from the two scary ones that you gave us? You have any that had a interesting thing that stuck with you?
Not really. Every board has its own story.
Yeah.
Like if you ever come and see, when you see my museum at the event in September, or my museum actually will be set up at the Lewiston Armory on April 12th and 13th, coming right up.
Nice. So that'd be midway through the summer. That'd be a good opportunity to go there. That's cool.
I'll say that's only 3 weeks away.
I didn't even realize that. Oh my God. Yeah, I thought you said August. I thought
April.
April. Oh, yeah, that's coming right up.
And
Lewiston Armory.
June we'll be up in Waterville. We actually have 3 home shows this year, which normally doesn't happen.
That's awesome. Plenty of opportunities to catch it then. I'm looking forward to checking it out. If I get an opportunity, I wouldn't mind going to that one in April, because that's not that far off either.
And it's free entry and it's at the Weird Fair.
Okay, yeah, that makes
You've
sense.
probably seen, and it's a giant oddity show too. So
Yes. I didn't get to go to that last year. I'm really hoping to make it this year if everything lines up. That's
yeah,
wicked
April
cool.
12th and 13th, right there at the Lewiston Armory.
Okay, well, hey, man, that's another thing. I'm going to definitely be putting that in the description so people can keep an eye out for it because I want to make sure that we send people your way and everything. So you've got that coming up. You got the Paracon is in September 6th and 7th. Anything else you got going on you'd like to plug while you got a minute?
Not that I can think of, actually.
Okay, well, hey, man, that's always, I mean, any other time that you get an opportunity, I'm happy to, you let me know if there's something that you do have going on. I'm always happy to throw it on my show at any point in time, even if I just throw an ad in for you or something like that, because I always offer that to guests of the show.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, not a problem, man. I'm looking forward to going. I honestly, it was one of those things that I told Mr. Redbeard this year. I was like, where we get so few opportunities to travel in the course of the summer just because busy. We got 2 kids and life is what it is. So I was like, this is, I think, is one of those ones that we got to make sure make it a point this year. So it's definitely something we're both looking forward to doing. Hopefully plenty of the listeners will be able to make it out to it because I got several that are local to the area that have, I mean, I think that pretty much right in that same area. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout all around. Maybe meet some more people there and network. I don't know.
100%.
Yeah. So if you do continue on with this, 5 years is a start, right? We're looking at making this a permanent fixture in the state of Maine, maybe.
That's my goal.
Oh yeah, I love that idea, man. I love that idea. That's great. Well, dude, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. It's been fantastic to have you. I'm looking forward to attending myself. I hope that we get to see plenty more awesome things to come from this because I'm really, really just excited with what you're doing, dude. It's such a cool thing. And I want to thank you for doing it. You're definitely you're bringing life to this state, and I always want to support that. Whatever resources and platforms I have available, I want to make them available to you. So definitely reach out if you ever have something going on. But
that's something Maine lives off from is our tourism.
Yes,
we if it wasn't for our tourism, Maine would be very, very, very poor. And
it is.
And the thing is, like, we need people to come to Maine. We want people to come to Maine and bring money to Maine. And
I think that's something people forget sometimes.
Yeah, especially like the small towns. Like, oh, we don't need tourism. And then you think about it, you're like, are you going to go to that and pay money at that hotel? No, you live right down the road from it. You're going to go to Old Orchard Beach and rent those hotels down there at a high price? No. You're going to go into those restaurants every day of the week to help support local businesses? You can't afford that. Or at least most people can't.
Right. It's not what it once was. You're definitely onto that. And I mean, I grew up in Bar Harbor, and it's tourist central up here. It's mid-coast there, Acadia in particular. The national park is such a tourist draw. But aside from that summer season, there's not a ton of opportunities for, things to go on in this state. Anything like you're doing is really a big draw. And I think it's going to become a huge thing. Honestly, with the number you were talking, I wouldn't be surprised if that number ends up being way more than what you're expecting, because that'd
be great.
A big deal.
Honestly, that'd be amazing.
Just looking at it, I don't know, man. I have this feeling that there's going to be nothing but great things to come for you.
The bigger the event gets, the bigger the people we can bring in. Like, there's some celebrities out there, they charge $90,000 just for an appearance. And I couldn't definitely not afford them this year, but if the event gets big enough, maybe I could bring in a big name that wants $90,000 to show up,
Sure, right. Yeah. It's goals, man. It's something to look forward to. I think it's a possibility down the road, because what you're doing, I think, is going to it's going to grab people. I think it's going to be huge.
Like, one of my dream stars I want to bring in is Warwick Davis, and he has to come in all the way from the UK.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, he's huge. Or another one, I'd like to get Jeffrey Dean Morgan some year.
Oh, wow. That'd be a fantastic grab. That would be a great one to have.
Norman from Walking Dead.
He's come to Maine a couple
Daryl.
of times in the past. He's come on his own in the past.
Not for like a convention or anything. Just
No. He's just been up to visit. He just enjoys the area. I don't think he'd be that hard to convince.
Maybe not. But it's money.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, it's a big part of it is business, and for better or worse, that's a part of it. But I think you're off to a great start for being a first year. This is a fantastic lineup, and I am very much looking forward to it. I mean, just like I said earlier, just the Mountain Monster guys and John Zaffis alone is making my year for these conventions. So I'm into this. Well, dude, again, I don't want to keep you all night. I really appreciate you coming on. It has been a fantastic time talking to you. I definitely want to catch up with you in the future, and I'll be seeing you soon at the convention. So
yeah,
thanks so much, man. I appreciate everything you do.
Thanks for having us on.
Right on, man. Well, that was a super fun episode, folks. I very much enjoyed having Jeff on the show this week, and I hope you did too. There's tons of activities coming up here in the Pine Tree State this year, so if you have the means, do get out there and enjoy some of them. This Maine Paranormal Horror Con is shaping up to be one of the biggest the state has ever had, so hopefully you all get to enjoy it as well. As always, I'm the Reverend Redbeard for Acadia After Dark. Keep those lanterns lit. Stay safe out there, folks.